I've just had one of the craziest realizations about starseeds, light workers, the Galactic Federation, the pyramid configuration that's happening on July 19th that is predicted to usher in the Golden Age, and how it's connecting to Hindu cosmology. And I've just gone down this massive rabbit hole, and I'm going to look like that guy from that movie. I don't remember what the movie's called, but I have to share it with you guys. I've tried to share this video all week. Every time I try film it, my voice just gets stopped and blocked for some reason. Well, we all know why. But I'm just going to push through, and I apologize for my weird sounding voice. But Andre Barbeau, the French astrologer I've already mentioned in my other videos, predicted July 19th, this pyramid configuration that's happening in the sky, to usher in the Golden Age, or be the transitionary, the beginning of the shift into it. And I started going into Hindu cosmology. My channel, all these synchronicities led me to find this prophecy. And I apologize if I say this wrong with my Australian accent, but it's called the Bhavishya Malika prophecy. It is a 600-year-old text that predicts the Iron Age, or the Dark Age, which is what we're in right now. It's pretty dark right now, which they call the Kali Yuga, will conclude between 2025 and 2030. Now, obviously, it's not the same as what Andre Barbeau was saying, July 2026, but it's the same, time frame, right? 2025 to 2030. There will be a transition period leading into the Golden Age, what they call the Satya Yuga. By the way, Yuga is just a age within an eternal repeating cycle of time. It's an epoch. And so this will lead us into the Golden Age, and it's beginning now, or in 2025, according to this prophecy. It's the age of truth. This is the Satya Yuga, the Golden Age. This is the first and most enlightened era in the Hindu cosmological cycle, and it will be fully here by 2032. Now, you've probably heard 2032 or 2030 being thrown around a lot. It's an important number, and just bear with me on that because it's all linking. There is a pyramid of absolute purity, righteousness, spiritual perfection, where humanity lives in perfect harmony with the universe. This is what they're saying the Golden Age is. There will be no social inequality or labor. Rich and poor will not exist. Men and women obtain their needs through the power of will, eliminating the need for physical labor. Now, that's what the texts say, but we need to change the language because all our words are different. But saying that we can obtain our needs without physical labor, that's pretty much saying that we have instantaneous manifestation abilities. But the Hindus don't say it like that, but that's pretty much the same thing, right? The text also says that our will have physiological changes, where we humans in this golden era will possess immense physical strength, be immune to all disease, and can live up to 100,000 years, which is crazy. Because I've heard when we shift into the 5D new Earth, we'll live for thousands of years. I've never heard 100,000 years. That's a long time. But this thing that they're saying, where humans are possessing immense physical strength and they're immune to all disease, that's pretty much what I think. They're saying that we're shifting into our crystalline light bodies, but they just don't use that language, right? But this golden age is the era of spiritual advancement, where the deity or God, one of their biggest gods in Hinduism, Vishnu, appears during this yuga, or this epoch, this time, to restore cosmic order and save the Vedas. Now, the Vedas are these sacred Hinduism scriptures, and what I see that as, like the Vedas, is pretty much just all the cosmic, spiritual, philosophical knowledge and wisdom that we have here. Vishnu is coming down to make sure that none of that gets lost. Now, Vishnu is one of the main gods in Hinduism, and he is seen as the protector of the universe. But guess what color his skin is? Blue. Now, all the gods in Hindu culture, they all have different colored skin. Green skin, blue skin, red skin. What if they are talking about galactic beings, because who else are the protectors of this universe? The Galactic Federation of Light. So they might be talking about the same thing, and I do not mean to be disrespectful to Hindu culture. I'm just trying to make connections here that blue-skinned beings, that sounds like aliens to me. That sounds like extraterrestrials. That sounds like the Galactic Federation. That Hindu culture talks about all these gods overseeing Earth and protecting it, and that is what the Galactic Federation does. So I see that connection. But wind back to Andre Barbeau, this French astrologer. Then we're looking at this prophecy, 600 years old. They have absolutely no connection. Andre Barbeau did not study Hinduism. I doubt he would have known about this prophecy. He studied mundane Western astrology. He had no awareness, as far as I know, of Eastern traditions or religion. But they're talking about the same thing. What he described was going to come after this pyramid configuration on July 19th is exactly what the Hindus are describing in this prophecy. Now, by the way, Hinduism, they have so many different theories of this. This is just one prophecy, but the predictions are the same. And these are from two totally different backgrounds, two totally different countries, and it's the same story. There are psychics and channelers that are talking about 2030 and 2032 with no awareness of this Hindu prophecy that is also saying 2032 will bring in the golden age. And there are channelers and psychics with no connection to the astrology who are also talking about the same dates that the astrology is hitting. So everything is connected. These people have no awareness, no knowledge of Hindu cosmology at all, but they're saying the exact same thing as this prophecy. And they have no awareness of the yugas. And when they said this prophecy is saying that the Yuga, Kali Yuga, the Dark Age, is going to end and transition into the Golden Age around 2032, which a lot of people are saying without knowing this stuff. It's crazy. Now, Vishnu's role as a god, he was here to maintain cosmic order and restore balance whenever evil threatened the world. That is exactly what the Galactic Federation of Light does. He is also on a cosmic serpent called Ananta Shisha, which translates roughly to endless, limitless, that which remains. That is like the eternal state of existence. We are immortal. We are limitless. We are infinite. And the coils of Shisha, it's like this snake of coils. I really saw it, and they say in Hinduism, it represents the cyclical passage of time. But when I was looking at it and all these spirals, I just thought it's the spiral of evolution, because that's what we do. We are spiraling as we evolve, and it also is the spirals, and I just saw it as levels of, it's all the different dimensions. It is representing our multi-dimensionality. And I'm sorry if this all sounds crazy, but this is welcome to my brain. And I also saw that this serpent could also be a dragon. In some depictions it looked like that, and there's definitely dragons that are going to help us shift into the golden age, into the new earth. But even if it's not a dragon, the serpent I think is representing the Kundalini energy, and we have the Kundalini energy within. We have the serpents dormant at the base of our spine, and then it shoots up out of our crown. Now, they said that Vishnu is lying on this cosmic serpent, and he has 1,000 heads, like cobra heads, hanging over him, which protects the god Vishnu. And what happens when we go through a Kundalini awakening? All the two serpents come up our spine, shoot out of the crown, and maybe that is what it's representing. The Kundalini awakening is these serpent heads at the top of our head, because that's what it's depicted in these sacred texts as well. So I saw a connection there. But at the end of Kali Yuga, which is apparently where we're at right now, there is going to be a cataclysm that occurs to purge the world of wickedness and restart the cosmic timeline back to the Golden Age, which is Satya Yuga. That is the first age in Hindu cosmology. Is that going to start in July, on this July 19th pyramid configuration? I don't know. Now let's go deeper, because that is just the tip of the iceberg. Everyone is talking about this grand cosmic reset that is happening. No matter what knowledge they have, whether they're a channel, a psychic, an astrologer, they have the knowledge of this Hindu prophecy, whatever. Everyone's talking about this reset into the Golden Age, the 5D New Earth. Now, specifically, the Malika prophecies talk about an unfinished battle known as the Ekbula Yuddha, probably said that wrong, but this is destined to take place towards the end of Kali Yuga, which is where we're at now, the end of the Dark Age, Iron Age. It's going to be a final catastrophic apocalyptic war destined to take place at the end of Kali Yuga. This predicted conflict will feature major warriors reincarnated who will engage in a decisive battle of righteousness against evil. Now, they're talking about many different types of warriors returning to fight this battle. Now, I made a spiritual war video a while back talking about the light workers fighting against the reptilians and the elite. This is pretty much what it sounds like they're talking about. This unfinished battle where the dark forces finally get killed and they finally get returned back to source, and many warriors return. Maybe that is us. We are the light warriors. We are the light workers. We are the ones that are going to be a part of this battle. Now, in that spiritual war video, I talk about maybe it's not a physical battle. Maybe it's an energetic war. All the density that we're shedding right now is the fight to hold the light and to dispel the darkness. So just when we're reading this, we're trying to see like the metaphor in it, and maybe it's not talking about a physical event, but it might be more spiritual or energetic. Now, they talk about this conflict and this war being orchestrated by Lord Krishna. Now, Krishna is an incarnation of Vishnu, the god that I just talked about, that blue-skinned being. So we're all incarnations of galactic beings, is what they keep saying, because every single god in Hinduism is all an incarnation of Vishnu or some other god, and they're all different colors. We're all galactic beings, is what I think the message is. Now, in this battle, it will be the forces of Dharma versus the forces of Adharma. Now, let me explain what that is. The forces of Dharma is a divine alliance featuring legendary warriors who are prophesied to have been reborn to fight evil. Now, maybe that's us. Maybe that's who they're talking about, the light warriors, the starseeds, the light workers. And the divine alliance could be the Galactic Federation, because that's what they are. In Hindu tradition, there is a lord called Rama, who is another avatar of Vishnu, another incarnation of that galactic being. He is dark blue, and in some manifestations of him, he has radiant green skin. So what they're talking about is a war, a battle with aliens, with Galactic Federation, the Galactic Federation, galactic beings on our side. They are the divine alliance that we're working with. They're also beings with dark or bluish green complexion, and this color symbolizes the divine connection to Vishnu, because he's blue, and this divine connection is connection to other star systems, maybe. Maybe that's what they're talking about here. Now, another incarnation of Vishnu is said to come for this battle, called Balarama, who is Krishna's brother. So let's talk about Krishna for a second. Krishna literally translates to the word dark or black, and he has dark skin. He's a dark-skinned being, so maybe he represents half of humanity. And his brother is Balarama, who is traditionally depicted as a mighty, fair-skinned warrior. So maybe they're talking about the white people. Maybe they're talking Balarama represents the Nordic beings as well, because he is a fair-skinned being. And these both are considered to be the earthly incarnation of the divine serpent, Shisha. Now, that serpent that we were talking about, that is Kundalini. We are the incarnation of this divine serpent. We are the incarnation of Kundalini, because we have those Kundalini serpents within us at the base of our spine that is destined to go up our chakras and give us a Kundalini awakening, which is where all our powers are activated. So I see another connection there as well. He's also seen to this god Balarama is shown to be sheltered under the multi-headed canopy of the Shisha serpent, which is pretty much saying that he is the person that has had that Kundalini awakening, because the serpents have gone up, they've gone through the crown, and the heads are at the top. So that's what I thought it was. It reaches the crown, and what they say is that Balarama and Krishna is an expansion of Vishnu himself. We, you and I, are the expansion of Vishnu. We are the expansion of the Galactic Federation. And others also say that these were incarnations of Buddha. And Buddha was here on Earth. He's human. We're talking about humans. So that's the forces of Dharma. The good guys, the white hats, whoever else, whatever other words you want to use. Then it's versing the forces of Adharma. This is the opposite of Dharma, and Dharma is all about cosmic order and duty. But forces of Adharma are any actions that harm the environment, exploit others, or reject truth. Adharma is any action, attitude, or entity that disrupts cosmic balance, causing suffering, or goes against any natural laws. They are the abstract vices and negative behaviors that disrupt cosmic harmony, and it refers to unrighteousness, chaos, and cosmic disorder. So it's also categorized into any acts that obscure the truth, which is what the dark forces do, and any pretentious behavior. And they specifically say a dark, destructive family lineage is a part of the forces of Adharma. And when I read that, I instantly thought of the Rothschilds. They are a dark, destructive family, or even the reptilians, because they are a dark lineage. Not all are bad though. There are some good reptilians that are aligned with the light. But anyway, Adharma is fundamentally driven by 4 pillars: violence, falsehood, lust or desire, and hatred. Anyone who's caused deceit, delusion, fear, torment, and death are a part of the dark forces, or the forces of Adharma. And also their descendants, their lineage of negative factors that breed further chaos, resulting in forces like greed, anger, and Kali. Now don't mistake Kali for like the goddess Kali. She's amazing, we love her. This is another kind of demon with the same name. It is the personification of quarrel and the dark age. That's why they call it Kali Yuga. It's not about the goddess Kali. Just wanted to make that clear. But it's any demons and unrighteous kings who attempt to dominate the world, requiring divine intervention to restore order. Now, they're talking about the same thing, but they're not using the word reptilian and elite and Illuminati and Rothschilds, but they're saying that there's these dark forces that require divine intervention to restore order, and that's what the Galactic Federation is. So I really see what they're describing is this war between the Galactic Federation and us, all us, like the Starseeds, the Lightworkers, versing the reptilians, the elite, the Rothschilds, the bad guys. Now, according to the Bhagavad Gita, I think that book is called, that, by the way, translates literally, that word translates to the Song of God. This is one of the biggest texts in the whole world. If you haven't heard of it, it's huge. And it's not just a foundational Hindu scripture, but it's a major masterpiece of world literature and philosophy. And it's like translated in 75 different languages. It's huge. It's gone all around the planet. And in this text, it says that these forces will overwhelm the world, and cosmic manifestations and avatars such as Krishna and Vishnu, so again, galactic beings, manifestations of them, appear to defeat the Adharma and restore Dharma. And Kali, not Kali the goddess, but the malevolent demon in Hindu cosmology, he is the embodiment of sin, ignorance, and moral decay, and he is destined to be defeated at the end of the age by an avatar, another avatar of Vishnu, so another galactic being who's incarnated as human, by an avatar called Kalki. Now, he is the prophesized final avatar who is yet to appear, but who will arrive at the very end of our current dark age. Now, this was written 600 years ago, so Kalki could be all of us. We are the ones that are going to destroy the dark forces. He is described as riding a white horse and wielding a blazing sword to definitively eradicate Kali, the ultimate personification of malice and quarrel, and he will then usher in a new golden age of truth. Now, that sounds like what we're all here to do, all our souls and starseeds and light workers. We're here to usher in the golden age. We're here to destroy the darkness with our light and bring in an age of truth. Now, there is a timeline leading up to this battle, this Ekbula Yuddha that they talk about here in this prophecy, and it's structured as a step-by-step collapse of society, nature, and regular time, transitioning humanity from the end of Kali Yuga to the dawn of Satya Yuga, the dawn of the Golden Age. So here is the timeline that is predicted. There's like 4 or 5 phases. Phase 1. Divine omens and signs will appear, indicating that the divine energy is shifting. Now, in this prophecy, they talk about a large stone falling off a temple, which is it's a big omen or sign. There is this metal wheel at the top of one of their temples, that like one of their really special temples, that is said to bend or catch fire during a severe storm, which when people see that, they'll be like, oh my god, this is the beginning of phase 1. Or a vulture or bird of prey will land directly on the pillar outside the temple entrance, is another divine sign or omen. Phase 2 is moral decay and natural disasters. As the old age enters its absolute final chapters, so this dark age is reaching the end, the balance of nature and human morality completely breaks down. There will be societal blindness where human beings become completely obsessed with materialistic pleasures, leading to rampant dishonesty, a loss of spiritual knowledge, and disrespect towards traditions. That's what's happening right now. Also, severe pandemics were predicted, where it will stretch modern healthcare systems to their breaking point. We just had a pandemic. That was a fake, but it's funny that 600 years ago they were talking about a pandemic that was going to push us and the medical system to breaking point. There will be an era of cleansing where extreme weather events, unpredictable sea level rises, frequent heavy earthquakes, and widespread crop failures will happen. Prophecies also detail war associated with geopolitical struggles involving various Islamic nations. Crazy, that's kind of happening right now. Phase 3. There will be a secret appearance of Lord Kalki. While the outer world descends into chaos, the 10th avatar of Vishnu begins his work in total anonymity. I don't know how to say the word, but yeah, unknown, hidden. He's been born. He is living among regular humans in an unrecognized, completely secret form. Now, that could be all of us. We're all galactic beings and we're all hiding in human. We pretend that we're in the Matrix when we're actually not. This could be talking about all of us, not just one person, not just one prophet, right? And Kalki, I could even see as like the second coming or the awakening back to Christ consciousness, because how they describe Kalki is very similar to Jesus, where he comes and heals the world. So it could be an awakening of Christ consciousness within all of us, which will help us shift into the golden age. This is when a silent spiritual revolution begins, rallying a dedicated group of youth to preserve the values of Hinduism and carry it into the golden age. Now, the values of Hinduism, I pretty much just translate it as all the spiritual knowledge and wisdom we carry, we're carrying it into the golden age. But it's a dedicated group of youth. So it's our younger generations, the starseeds and lightworkers that are coming through now, is when the revolution will begin. Phase 4. The geopolitical landscape shifts rapidly as global tensions reach an unavoidable boiling point. Economic collapse will occur. Unprecedented financial crises across nations that cripple global trade and cause structural chaos. A war breaks out across the globe involving an alliance of various nations. Now, again, various nations could be humans, but it could also be animals, because a lot of animals are starting to awaken right now. The sharks around us, there's a lot of animals clearing density right now that could be a part of this phase, which I definitely believe they are. And it could be light workers, reptilians, it could be an energetic war, just letting you know. But the prophecy also talks about days of darkness, a period characterized by 7 days of total physical darkness covering the earth, plunging the remaining population into panic and confusion. Now, that could physically happen. A lot of psychics and channelers talk about this 7 days or 10 days of darkness. Or it could be darkness as in like all the darkness and density of the world is coming up all at once. Mother Earth purges it all, brings it to the surface, and the humans go into panic and confusion. But it's that one last release and purge. And then we go into phase 5, which is purification. And by the way, all of this is stages of purification, but this is the main final phase. The revealing of the Kalki avatar, the rise of Kalki, they call it, who will destroy evil and spiritually transform humanity. Lord Kalki officially steps out of hiding to command the battlefield, or fight this spiritual war or physical war, we don't know, backed by reborn legendary warriors. That's all of us. We are the light workers, remember? And legendary warriors could also be the Galactics. So Galactic, Starseeds, light workers, we're working with Kalki, who might not be one being. It might be we are a manifestation of that. And it will lead to the Great Elimination. The combined forces of evil, corrupt leaders, and unrighteousness are completely eradicated from the planet. This is the transition, the final cleanup. The Earth enters a period of intense purification. All existing major religious and cultural divisions dissolve, unifying humanity under a singular spiritual system to ring in the Satya Yuga, the Golden Age. This will all happen by 2032. That is what the prophecy said. All that. How spot on is that compared to what like other people are saying that have no connection to this prophecy, and we're all getting the same messages. We're all channeling the same thing. It just blows my mind, and I'm such a nerd for this stuff. But they talk about this cosmic decline that happens, and this Bronze Age or this Iron Age, this Dark Age, comes to a close due to increasing human greed, excessive gambling, and the loss of spiritual discipline, which is this is where we're at right now in this world. Now, the transition from the Dark Age, Kali Yuga, to the Golden Age, Satya Yuga, is tied to a violent cleansing phase. And that's what we need to understand, that Mother Earth is going to be like, it might be a violent cleanse. And we need to prepare ourselves for that, because I feel like that's coming. It's not fully happened yet, but I have a feeling it will. And it will be this chaotic transition, and it's widely interpreted as being triggered by rare planetary alignments. Now, the Malika prophecy explains that although the traditional Kali Yuga was meant to span for 432,000 years, that's what traditional Hindu epochs say, like it's a really, really long age. And this Malika prophecy came in, which really shortened the ages and the times. But the Malika prophecy explains that it's because of the weight of human sin. It drastically shortens the period, leaving only about 5,000 years for the actual experience of the Dark Age, and then the transition happens. So that's why in other Hindu prophecies it'll say like, oh, the Golden Age is like 1,000,000 years away from now. And some will say it's 400,000 years away from now. And there's so many different prophecies, but this one is explaining, well, actually it's gotten so dark, the timeline's actually collapsed, and it's starting to happen a lot earlier. This also links to astrology. Now, astrologers and interpreters of the texts of the Malika, prophecy, they align these events with these catastrophic and spiritual events with specific celestial phenomena. So let's look into that. Saturn in Pisces is a trigger. We just had Saturn in Pisces. Saturn moved into Aries not long ago. In Vedic astrology, which I don't specialize in, but there is a significant Mars to Ketu astrological event that happens. And Ketu, by the way, is another word for the South Node. It's a highly discussed conjunction in the sign of Leo. Now, when I talk about the South Node's in Virgo in the astrology I practice, but in Vedic astrology, it's in the sign of Leo. And there's this alignment that happens, this conjunction that happened on February 23, 2026. That is very close to the Saturn-Neptune conjunction that happened in February, and I talked about that heaps. They also talk about the rare configuration of 7 planets aligning, which happened in April. They talked about that being, it's said to proceed to a new golden age. That just happened in April. Then there's this specific period involving Mars, Ketu, the South Node, and Jupiter gathering in Leo. Jupiter just went into the sign of Leo. So this is all the astrology they're talking about that's leading to this golden age, like astrologically, it's happening right now. And it's happening also alongside retrograde movements of Saturn and Mercury. And it marks peak phases of global turbulence, supply chain breakdowns, and financial instability, which is what we're going through. This is crazy. Everything's linking. But after all these phases of purification, after all this astrology happens, it will bring peace, spiritual awakening, and divine rule to the earth. That is the prediction. That is the timeline. And we are saying this timeline in so many different words and ways of saying it, from channelers and psychics and galactic people and astrology people and Hindu cosmology people, and none of them are seemingly connected, but they're all talking about the same thing. It's crazy, and I just had to share this because this seems like a timeline that we have known for a very, very long time, and it is happening right now as we speak. We are transitioning into the golden age. This prophecy said between 2025 and 2030 is our transitionary period into the golden age, and it's just so exciting to see. Obviously there's a lot of dark things that are happening, but everything they've described up until this point has happened. So I want to believe that everything that happens after is also going to happen. This emergence of the golden age is going to happen a lot quicker than we think, and we are all here to fight that battle. Might not be a physical battle. It might be a spiritual, energetic battle where we are holding our light, we are shedding density, the animals here are shedding the density, we are shedding the density of Mother Earth. That's why we're here, to support her, to support the animals, to support, our ancestors. And the Galactic Federation comes down and helps initiate us and fight this battle with us, and we eliminate the darkness and return to eternal light. And that is what's happening, and I'm so excited. So I needed to share this timeline with you and also show you that everything is interconnected. All these things that seem like they're not connected, astrology and Hinduism, like not connected at all, but they are. We are all seeing the same timeline and story being shown right now. And yeah, I needed to make this video to show you and remind you that no matter how dark it gets, remember this prophecy. It gets really dark before the dawn of the golden age.